Hang Time is part of the Globally Balling Network, and you can check out our social media. That's facebook.com/globallyballin. Instagram, don't forget to follow us at Globally Ballin Official. And don't forget also to tweet us. You can tweet us your suggestions of who you want us to interview in all kinds of sports here in the Philippines. That's at Globally Ballin. And for all of our sports fans, we've got more shows for you here from the Globally Ballin Network. We have the Globally Ballin podcast, an eternity of basketball, hang time, and who the heck are we? Just check it out on our YouTube page. That's at Globally Ballin. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time we release a new video. And we have a new network show. Help us welcome Who the Heck Are We for sports opinions and stories. It's available on Spotify and on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and follow. If it's still not enough that ball is life, well, for all our shoot lovers, basketball lovers, we've got an eternity of basketball just for you, provided by the Globally Ballin Network. Again, available on Spotify and on YouTube. And for a quick and easy way to find us on all of our social media and all of our different shows, you can check it out. Our link tree, that's on the site right there. And you can find the link at the top of all of our show descriptions. Welcome, guys, to another episode of Hang Time with me, Denice Disney. And for today, I know I say this every episode, but I can't help it. Like, I love the people I talk to, and this one most especially. We are being joined by Bok Morado. Bok, thank you so much. Alam ko na pag weekends rest, but thanks for
True.
borrowing.
Thanks for interrupting my weekend, Denise. Wow. So helpful, No, hi, Denise. Hi. Welcome to the show. Show ko pala.
Actually, that's what I was saying, diba? Sa background mo, parang I was mentioning na you literally look like those streamers that
we're
are
on
on the
Twitch.
rise.
Actually, we're on Twitch right now. People are sending me money or something. Like, this is my best stream so far.
You know, one thing that people don't know much, or parang from first impressions about Bok, even mine, I don't know if you remember, but the first time we met, it was a birthday of Gia Gel sa bahay ni Miguel. I forgot.
Was that the
what year
first time? I'm sure we've met before that.
No. Like, that was and then I like how and I like how you just said hi to me, like you knew me, and then I said hi to you, and then I said hi to you also because I knew you. Gia talks about you all the time.
Baka I thought you were someone else. I was like, hi, it's not her. But like, hi anyway, started already. So
and you prepared me a drink pa.
I did. We had chapayom there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did. That was my way of avoiding talking to people. So I just prepared drinks on the side. And they're like, do you want a drink? Sure, I'll do it for you. Easy.
Yeah, you would appear and then after that disappear.
Disappear. Yeah. It's like when Ate would call me, it's like, Job, come here. I want you to meet someone. I'll go there, talk for like 2 minutes, then go back. Like, oh, someone wants a drink yata, even if there's no one there. I go handing out random drinks to people na lang, just so I'm doing something.
I know, and it's like you've given me in that span of like less than an hour. You've given me 3 drinks.
We were pushing products. We were trying to advertise. Work naman. I mean, you drank them all. You weren't complaining.
It tasted really good. Until now, I'm still waiting for them to
easy.
To release.
Me too. We want to nga, yeah.
But, I was saying that the first impression that people have of you is you have such a maamo face. And like, sobrang shy, sobrang, like very introverted, which you are. But
so yeah,
like,
very much.
But as we're seeing here, like, you are so interactive. You are actually so full of energy. And you're one of the funniest people like I've ever met. And I'd like to think na mahirap akong patawanin, but you do it so effortlessly.
Parang hindi, Denise. And like the first time we met, you laughed already so much. Like I would never think it would be hard to make you laugh. But okay, I guess. Thanks for the compliment. I don't even know what maamo means, but like, thank you. Thank you for that.
No, because you were funny. Like, I'm not even...
Grabe yung no. No!
No, I have high standards in my humor. But no, like every time I visit your house, like during the pandemic, because we're all far away from each other, it's like you always have this hate that just like, I don't know, it just lightens the mood and it's just you brighten. And not to add, like when you smile, it's so genuine. Like it exudes so much happiness.
Genuine ba?
Okay, tama na. This whole, anyways, nakuha na ng mga audiences yung point na you're seeing a new side.
I think so.
You're seeing a new side of Bok Morado in this episode. But you know what? First, we like to talk about how you've been coping, during this pandemic. Okay, to be honest, doing this podcast for like, I think almost a year now, I can't believe na included pa rin yung how have you been coping during the pandemic because
I
we're
know it's
still
been
in a
so long,
pandemic.
dude. Crazy.
And now we're in back to GCQ with restrictions.
It's
So,
just
wh-
pretty much the
whatever
same
that
thing.
means.
Yeah. No. It's all just one big blur now. It's just all something CQ. It's all the same. No, but it's been a lot. I mean, it's been a while. I've gone through so many hobbies, rediscovered so much, and then like abandoned them again, and then rediscovered them again. That's how long it's been. Um, it's weird. It's like it feels like it's been so long, but at the same time, it's been so fast. Like, parang in that span of time, so much has happened. But also, I don't feel like there's a lot I got done. But parang it's been a lot of time talaga and a lot of going back and forth between what I think I should be doing, what I want to be doing, and I guess a lot of time to rediscover myself also. A lot of self-reflection that comes in during that time as well that really puts a lot into perspective.
Actually, it's one thing that mostly a lot of athletes have mentioned that during this time, parang they were able to rediscover themselves. Because for the longest time,
Hmm.
what defines you is volleyball,
The
training,
training, yeah, for
the
sure.
school. But so for you, what redefined you? Parang who is Bok Morado now, and who is he becoming during this whole process, during this whole pandemic while it's still happening?
Mhm. Yeah, well, I mean, coming into college kasi 'di ba, syempre, I was at the point where I was wondering if I wanted to be just a student or if I wanted to be a student athlete, if I wanted to join orgs or join a team. It's pretty different, pretty difficult for me to decide also during that time. And then eventually I went with being a student athlete nga. So like for practically my whole college life, that's all I've been doing. And if I'm not in training, if I'm not in bed or sleeping at the dorm, I'm in school. So pretty much that's all I've been doing talaga, just either studying, training, sleeping, eating, that kind of stuff. Then the pandemic came and I had one more year in college left. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. I have
Mm-hmm.
zero idea of what to do during that time. We still had training naman um, at home, online remote training. But then obviously it's not the same. So it really changed a lot. Gave at the same, I mean, I did lose a lot of time because of the training, but at the same time, I felt like I had so much time to be doing other stuff. So now with sort of like volleyball pushed into online, diba? That kind of took away the volleyball part of my life. So what else would I be doing? So
Mm-hmm.
during that time, I really thought a lot about, I could have started, I did start doing internships, started focusing more on career, life after college. Only had a year left. So diba, if I didn't start planning on my third year, like before I started my senior year, I'd be pretty lost by now. So really it was that transition between being a student athlete, just having that as all I've known since I started college, into literally stepping out into the adult world, the outside world,
Mm-hmm.
as probably an employee or basically someone with a job, right? Someone who's earning. So it's pretty difficult, kind of biglaan, I'd say. I mean, as in it literally feels like a baptism of fire or something. Because I have zero context. I mean,
Yeah.
student athlete all my life, not so much student organizations involvement. So, alam mo yan, parang everyone else was pretty settled with what they wanted to be after college. And I was like, I'll just apply for everything and hope I get in.
Parang more chances of winning.
Oh, literally. As in like, I don't know if I want this, I'll get it anyway. I don't know if I want this, but I might as well try. So I literally went for like so many interviews in a span of 6 months for jobs and internships. It's fun, but at the same time, it was hard for me to find what I really wanted to do.
And after those 6 months of all the internships and interviews, job interviews can be tiring,
They're so
especially
draining, man.
when you have to
Crazy.
sell yourself. Like
I know, it's so hard.
I don't even know what to sell about myself.
And it's so hard for me pa kasi I mean, you go into employment, people expect lots of student org involvement, diba? Or like you had leadership positions. I was like, I train twice a day. That's all I've been doing for college. And then parang little stuff that I'd be doing in training that I didn't feel would be relevant actually were relevant during my interviews. That was pretty surprising. I came into the interviews not feeling like I had a chance or like basta ang feeling ko is talong-talo na ako compared to my competition. But being an athlete has its perks also, gives you a different kind of profile that people don't really see. So it's really a matter of how you're able to sell that, how you're able to, I guess, go with that. Yeah.
So tell me more. Like what is that yung profile na sinasabi mo? No, because you know how there's
Yeah.
always people say employers always say that they look for athletes or
Mm-hmm.
usually scholars because of the discipline and the hard work. But I think coming from you talaga, who's been through that, and you can say how the company really reacted to you. You tell us more what appeals, as an athlete na as like a good employee for them.
Yeah. So based on my interviews, I failed so many. Just saying, but like they all went pretty well, naman. And then, basically, when you tell someone you're an athlete, when you tell an employer or a recruiter you're an athlete, they're like automatically, since it's pretty cliche, but they know it's true. Automatically, discipline, commitment, and grit. Those three things. That's something they know always comes from an athlete. So discipline to continue with I guess, a routine, or to know what you have to do and follow through with it. Commitment as well, going through with the task and just making sure you see it to the end, and full effort, that kind of stuff. Then the grit also to sort of, if you're faced with lots of adversity, go through lots of obstacles, you'll find your way through it. That kind of characteristics, they do come to expect that from athletes. But I think for me, what was more important when I was interviewing was that I was able to emphasize on, being a team player. Because a lot of the, I guess, the org structures now in companies, a lot of the, but it's not so vertical anymore, the hierarchy. It's very flat. Like, even if you just start out, you could be conversing head to head with one of your seniors, right? One of your managers. So that kind of dynamic, that kind of being able to work with people, being able to speak your mind while still respecting your boundaries, making sure you're contributing and making sure you're able to, I guess, talk to people and be able to work with them and make them feel like you're a good person to work with. That's also something that's really important that I feel, being an athlete has naturally been enhanced. Do you feel? I mean, like,
Yeah, I do.
I don't even think that I worked on that consciously throughout college, but as I come into the interviews, come into college, meet new other people, that's really something I've come to notice. Something people have been pointing out to me also.
So how parang we talk a lot about finding your own self and finding really who you are after volleyball has been
Yeah.
stripped off. Now, for the longest time, that commitment, that grit, and that discipline has been tied into volleyball. And how did you make it now all yours? Now it's just box. It's box commitment, it's box grit, and it's box discipline.
Yeah. Well, syempre, it started out with volleyball talaga. I mean, it starts out with training for sure. You wake up at 6 a.m. Who wants to wake up at 6 a.m., right? But you have to kasi you're committed to the school, you're committed to play, and you want to, make them proud, I guess. So you go to training at 6, train for like 4 hours, go to class after, then go back to training. Then after training, you have to do schoolwork, diba? So not a lot of time for yourself. But the commitment really comes in because you commit to that. You really put all of yourself, all of your best efforts into it. Make sure that you're able to really pin in on it. Make sure that you leave nothing to chance, I guess, or just make sure that you're able to deliver it the best way you can. But then, no, without volleyball, parang for me, okay, what do I channel that into? I guess I found that even in school pa lang, that same attitude, that same mindset, I guess that same drive, to just do everything right for yourself, you bring that to a lot of other stuff. You bring that to work. I brought it to my internship. You bring that at home also when you're with family. Especially at an age where you start to take over na rin, di ba? I mean, you're no longer just a bunso. Me, I'm no longer just a bunso. Parang part of me wants to provide na rin, wants to help out expenses at home. Do all the errands and stuff. Starting over for sila mom. So that kind of stuff, it really does channel into that. I mean, just because it's not physical training anymore doesn't mean I can't be 100% committed to it. I still have my own routine that involves siguro my work or studying when I was back in school pa. I still try to work out on my own, and then syempre, and all that time, I have to allot time for my family as well. So really, it's less the kind of things you go through. It's less your routine and more of how you bring that mindset into everything else that you do. So yeah, I mean, life beyond an athlete, pretty the same. I mean, it's just without the training, but the same drive, the same endurance, I guess, to go through that. It's going to be there for the rest of your life for sure.
Yeah, but it's nice how you mentioned family, and you are the bunso.
I am the bunso.
You have three older sisters or two? Did I get it correct? Three, yeah,
Three of them. Yeah.
three. And one of your ates is Gia, and the thing was, everyone was.
What? She
Medyo
is?
nagulat rin ako eh.
Huh? Joke lang. Yeah.
Like, everyone was excited for your arrival to the UAAP because everyone was like, oh, there's another Morado. And then, like, coming in, parang, did you feel any sort of pressure? Like, the thing is, you weren't only just pressured, or maybe you weren't only just representing Ateneo, you were representing your sister, who
Yeah,
made a
yeah,
name for
yeah.
herself in
Mm.
Philippine volleyball. So I don't know, how did that feel coming into the UAAP and coming into Ateneo?
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty difficult, honestly. But I guess for pure transparency, if I did feel any pressure, it's not because of, people making noise on social media, and it's not because of my family pressuring me or Silate pressuring me, because I got none of that from them. If there was any pressure, it was from me lang. Just me wanting to be able to come in and be like, this is who I am. This is the kind of play I'm used to. This is what I've done the past few years. I'm coming in and I have a lot to learn, but eto na yun. So I guess for a lot of the questions I get ever since is that do you feel any pressure being Gia Morato's sibling? And for me, parang it's very hard to answer because for starters, I don't know what it feels like not to be your sibling. Di naman ako disown in the past, so like I don't know how that dynamic would work. But at the same time, it's because it just feels so normal at home. Like we don't even talk about volleyball that much at home. We're just us. We're just eating a lot, watching whatever stuff we have at home. It's just I guess I just don't really feel like there's a difference between Gia talaga. Between my sister as my sister and my sister as the volleyball player. Like to me, it's just she's just the same person. So I guess pressure wise, honestly, I didn't feel any pressure in that sense. I mean, it never occurred to me that the pressure was because kapatid ko siya. You feel? It was more of I just wanted to be able to deliver for my team. I was coming in as a rookie, and in that sense, maybe not the best of rookies. I mean, I wasn't the blue chip. I was coming off an injury. I came up from an ACL, so really, parang in me, I knew I wasn't there yet. I wasn't a hard contributor yet, but I was ready to take that on. And my family naman, we were nurtured in a way that we never felt like we had to prove ourselves to other people, not even to each other, not even to my parents. Like they'd never pressure us to be awardees in school or to parang they wouldn't tell us, oh, you have to make it to palaro or you have to make it to ganyan. Parang for them, it's always been just do your best. And as long as you're happy and as long as you're doing what you think is right for you, then full on support. Basta just do your best and just go out there, diba? So
Would
yeah,
you
I
say
don't think, yeah.
would you think
So,
the pressure would you think the pressure you had from it came from other people and also from yourself? Do you think in some way na it formed like I not naman negative emotions, but there were times na parang you felt like you weren't enough or like I should be doing more or parang alam mo yun, that the burden becomes too heavy to bear. Even
oh
if it wasn't given
yeah.
anyways. Kasi yun na nga sabi mo, you never experienced what it's like to not be your sibling. So parang, where does that lie?
I mean, well, like I said, parang my she's been known like out there for quite some time. I was in grade school or high school when she started making rounds on social media. So parang alam mo yan, dun pa lang parang medyo na-build na in myself na, okay, you don't have to listen to other people. Just do what you want to do. Just be yourself. So even if I wasn't the one in the spotlight, I already guess formed kind of skin against that. So learned not to listen, not to mind about other people. Just make sure that if I'm doing something, I'm doing it for myself, right? But I guess there did come a time na the burden was pretty heavy, but that was because of myself na rin, mostly because parang part of me felt like a lot of the opportunities I've been getting, especially since college, was because of her. And that's something I accept na, okay, she's my sibling, so people come to expect so much of me, but at the same time, they'll offer me so much also. So a lot of the chances I've been getting, like getting into the team, I'm pretty sure a lot of that was because kapatid ko siya, di ba? So that's something I've come to accept and something that I guess I want to parang find in myself a way to prove to myself that even if she weren't my sibling or maybe the fact that she is wouldn't change anything and I still would be worthy of a spot on the team. So for the longest time, I guess volleyball wise, like for 2 years, that's something I'd been struggling with, something just trying to find my place in the team, making sure that I'm able to live up to coach's expectations. Like my biggest nightmare would be letting sila coach feel na maybe you shouldn't have gotten him pala. Yung parang that kind of mindset. So really, it does get quite burdening. It does get pretty heavy sometimes. But eventually, after a while, you find your footing and you find ways to show your value and show the kinds of effort you give. And that would sort of give you this gratification na, it wouldn't be the same kind of, I guess, fulfillment I was expecting. I didn't feel like this was the kind of way I'd be proving my value to the team, but no changing the fact that it came anyway. That I did feel like I was finding my place in the team and I was able to live up to that.
Yeah, but let's flush it out more. We all know that parang we are our own biggest competitors. Now it's even
Mm,
worse for
yeah.
athletes because the fact is you're already competing with other teams, with other people. tapos you're already competing pa with yourself, and
Yourself, yeah,
sometimes
for sure.
the very few times you're also competing, of course, with your teammates. It's you
Yeah.
live and breathe competition, and it's hard to maintain that kind of grit and that competitive drive sometimes, especially
Mm-hmm.
when you feel na even you yourself, you aren't kind to yourself anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I wanted to ask is how did you find that kindness for yourself to, as you mentioned, to get that footing and to be, to find the security, I guess, and to get that yung parang I also am worth it. Na parang
Yeah.
I do deserve the spot even if I wasn't her sibling because I am me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think one of the things I realized about that talaga is you have to look for that kind of validation and that kind of self-reassurance in the right places. So best case scenario is always to find it within yourself. But we all know that's not always possible. A lot of the time, like you said, yeah, you are your own worst enemy. So literally, your biggest hater will be yourself then. And a lot of the times, I found myself being that biggest hater. I mean, yeah. But then, you come to realize also that there are people whose opinions matter a lot more, people who have always been there from the start naman and have always reassured you about who you are and about your own worth as a person. And it goes so much deeper than just being a student athlete, than just being a volleyball player, than just being a Morado who's known for being a volleyball player, right? So for me, sobrang laking tulong that I had the support of my family. Parang I never had to ask for validation from them. I never had to go, Mom, I need help. Like, Mom, I need you to console me, or like, Dad, please just tell me I'm okay, tell me I'm good. Parang it was automatic. As in, they'd know how I'd been feeling, I guess, or if I was going through something, and they'd find a way to, I guess, console me for that and to help me through it. So it is super easy going through all that with my family. Kasi nga, I mean, who knows you better than them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it is pretty okay. It is pretty okay having my family through that. And then at the same time, people who are there also in your journey. So friends, for me, coaches talaga. The coaches really did so much in being able to help me through that. I'm sure naman they know the kind of pressure I put myself through. They know how much of a perfectionist I am and how much I really overthink stuff and that kind of person talaga. But they always know naman na, parang they always reassure me naman that everyone has a role on the team, and just so happened that your role might not be the biggest one, but it's a pretty important one. So while I didn't feel like I was content with that kind of role, with just being a niche player or whatever. It always came with the reassurance that you're still helping out the team in such a big way, in a way that you don't even know you're helping. So really, for me, just being able to find that validation, that reassurance from those kinds of people, it really did a lot to help reassure myself also.
So you really talk about you focus a lot on finding your place in general.
Yeah, yeah.
You've had to find it in your family. Like, and by God's grace, parang tita and tito are really very accommodating. Your
They
siblings, they
are.
raised
They
you
are
quite
very.
in a loving environment, so no problem there. Um,
Yeah,
well, in the
I
volleyball
think.
team, no. They're all lovable. But
Yeah.
next in the volleyball team na you've had to find your footing, I guess. But would you say na kahit nabitin ka ng 1 year sa UAAP and being with the team, would you say that you felt home?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Within my first few months with them, I already felt like I was home. Like I've always wanted to go to Ateneo naman eh. I mean, since I was in grade school, like our eldest graduated, I think I was in grade 5 or grade 6 from Ateneo College. And when I went to campus, literally I was like, wow, I want to go here. This is where I want to be. So parang, I brought that to college. But then, syempre, college, parang as a freshman, you come in with so much doubt eh. Parang, am I really supposed to be here? Then you're reading from, should I have gone to another school or should I have taken another course? That kind of stuff. A lot of self-doubt really that comes in. But within the first few months talaga with the team, I knew I made the right decision. And then even now that I'm not with the team anymore, I really feel like if there's anyone that I could go to aside from my family, the team will always be there. And that kind of family also that we built within the team, people I've become teammates with and people who I didn't even get to play with, like the alumni, they've always been so welcoming and so loving also. So it feels like I have two families. Pretty
Aw.
sweet.
But what made you say that? It's different to have the family that you've been born with, but something
Mm.
that you create with. What were the factors that made you consider that wow, they're my family and I felt at home immediately after first couple of months?
I guess for one, I mean, we were just super open with everyone. I mean, in the first few weeks, parang syempre, as a rookie, matakot ka magsalita, di ba? Matakot ka bumanat or humirit or just to tease people. But then, so syempre, you take that the first 2 weeks. But then, within my first month, parang jokingly, I'd hit back at them now. I'd be able to throw, I guess, not really insults, but more like, mga asaran talaga. As in, grabe yung insults. Parang medyo scary. Hindi. Kaya na namin mag-asaran by that time. So that was one. That was one that really helped me feel like I was at home because it made me feel like I could speak my mind and not be, I guess, judged for it. So that kind of environment was really very important for me. As someone who believes that communication is a very important aspect in life. Like everything, well, not really everything, but there's so much you can fix, so much you can work with if you're able to communicate freely. So that was one thing that was very important. Second was, grabe sila mag-alaga. As in,
Hmm.
kasi I've been home before college practically my whole life. Eh. I mean, never left my home. I was in Paranaque, just going to school, going back, going to games, going back. But then when I got to college, I had the dorm kasi the schedule was crazy. So if I went back to Paranaque after all that, I'd have no time for myself or no time to sleep, no time to, I guess, work on school stuff na. So I really had the dorm. Was that something I was nervous about? Kinda, because I never really, before that, parang I never really felt like I had to take care of myself, Diba? Parang
Yeah.
you're born into privilege, talagang ganun yung feeling eh. But then they were so accommodating, making sure that all my needs were met, making sure I was doing fine at home, that I was at home at the dorm, and not missing home too much, kasi those kinds of stuff. I mean, while they do understand that you will miss your family, it does sort of hold you back from other things that could potentially, I guess hold you back from achieving other stuff, right? So just making sure that I was happy and that I was content and that I was meeting my needs in the dorm. That's just something that was very homey to me. And I guess the last thing would be I always felt like I could go to them if I needed help. For anything, literally anything. It didn't have to be volleyball lang. Like even if I had trouble coping with school or if there was something in my schedule I couldn't fix. I always had my teammates there to help me. I always had people watching out for me. So it's really, really easy for me to just adjust into the dorm life, to the college life because of them.
Now, you're already blessed to have a good family and even more blessed to have two. But now, post college, it's way harder to find a home where you
Mhm.
work.
Yeah, yeah.
To find people,
Yes.
to find
Quite.
people.
You said it. Oh, stop laughing now. We have a podcast pa.
Right. To find that kind of accountability, to find
Mhm.
that
Yeah, yeah, for
kind
sure.
of openness, and also to find a safe space where you feel like you don't have to compete and you are taken care of even behind your back. Like, do you see yourself finding a family for the third time at work?
For sure naman. I mean, I guess I'm the kind of person that likes to choose the relationships that I build. Parang kinds of people I associate with also. So I guess it's pretty, I guess, automatic for me to try to find that kind of home with the people I work with also. Kasi, I mean, you're not just there to earn. You're there to grow also as a person. And I don't think you can grow as a person if you're not letting other people in. So for sure, that kind of environment is something that I look for also when I'm in work or when I'm trying to associate with people at work. So yeah, I mean, same kind of thing applies. I mean, I'm still there in the early stages, but like for me, so sobrang reassuring na that I have the means to communicate freely with people. I have people I can reach out to if I need help or if there's literally any questions I have. And I have so many questions, I swear. Since I like to ask lots of stuff and understand things, why they are. I have someone that has the patience to tolerate me, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I do see myself trying to form or trying to find that kind of family bond in my work environment as well.
You've been a recipient of all of these wonderful, beautiful relationships and also this privilege. And I guess now it's important na parang, it's one thing to acknowledge the privilege that we have, but
Yeah, for sure.
it goes, we're here for the matches. So paying it forward, where do you see yourself? How do you also, I guess, pay that kind of backup that you've had from your family and from your
Mhm.
volleyball team to other people?
Yeah, yeah. Well, ever since talaga, as a kid, as someone in high school, someone in college, one thing that's always driven me is that I always wanted to give back that kind of love I received to the people who gave them and to the people I'll be meeting in the future. So the love I got from my family, love I got from my team, from the people in school, and the love I'm getting from work, I always feel like I want to be able to give that back. I always feel like I want people to realize that it was a pretty good investment, so to say, to kind of take care of me that way. Because I always feel like I mean, I don't feel obliged to, but I just want to be able to show them that, hey, thanks for all you've given me. I want to make sure that you get that same love from me too. So that's always been my mindset. So I guess speaks for itself naman, diba? How I would give back to my family, to the team. But then paying it forward, um, I guess for me, I feel like there's so many people who don't get that kind of love, who don't get that kind of nurturing or that kind of support from people they want to get them from. So people who probably do not have the best relationships with their families or not born into the same, I guess, the same privilege that I was born into. A lot of people don't get that. And that's something I know and something that I really want to change. Like if I could just be able to give the same kind of love I received when I was a kid and give that to someone else and see them, I guess, bloom into a great version of themselves, that would be super reassuring, super fulfilling for me to see. So for now, I mean, I don't know how to channel that yet. Don't know what medium or how I plan to, make that tangible. But I guess that's something I really want to do, just to make sure that if I could change just one person's life, if I could change just one person's life by showing them the same support I got, then I'd be pretty happy. Yeah.
Aww.
Aw.
Standing ovation. Cue the
Tama
claps.
ba yung script ko? Joke lang. Did I read that right? No.
But I think it's a perfect end to this interview, really,
It's
because
done? I wanted to talk so much more. I'm kidding. I'm okay na. Please, let me leave.
but no, yeah, because we're living in even tougher times. We
We
already
are,
live
we
in
are.
tough times.
Very difficult times.
And the thing is, I know it's so important to have self love and all of that, but I think it's so much more important nowadays to really just extend or lend a hand to people.
Yeah.
And but not to the point naman na you're a martir.
Inubos ko na
But
sarili mo. Oo, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
For sure.
but there are like if your love tank is full, what's stopping you from sharing some of it
Sharing
to
that,
others?
yeah.
Since
For
it can
sure.
yours can be refilled naman, when you have those friends that you talk
Yeah.
about in your family. So what you said, that's really good. I think the most important step is to have that intention,
Mm-hmm.
and you let that direct also where you want to give. So thank you so much, Bok, for your time.
Thank you. Thanks
and
for having me.
and for like the I guess your stories also how it's always interesting to know like the depth of a person, especially if an athlete that
Uh-huh.
we don't get to see so much, because
Yeah, yeah.
we know that you value your privacy, especially since volleyball and sports sometimes is considered as entertainment na here in the Philippines. But thank you like for fleshing out yourself to us, and I guess, and also being vulnerable and sharing your struggles and letting us relate to you as well. So thank
For
you for
sure.
your
Thanks for
time.
having me. Thank you. I don't like being vulnerable, but okay. You asked naman so nicely, so I'd give it today. You can have it for today, Denise.
But thank you so much, Bok Morado, for joining us for this podcast. And again, guys, stay tuned for more episodes as we get to know more of your favorite volleyball stars. We'll see you again next time. Thank you again, Bok.
Sure. Thanks, Denise.